I understand wanting to be famous, and I understand building yourself, and I understand wanting to be a boxer as well, and being a professional. But at some point, someone has to be guiding this kid's career.
I think it's good because what happened there is other people who never watch boxing, or they don't know anything about boxing, they want to watch Jake Paul because he's coming from he brings fans from other world.
Seasoned boxers hold a critical view of Jake Paul, the YouTube sensation turned self-proclaimed boxer. While Paul has been raking in money through pay-per-view events and grabbing headlines for his so-called matches against real fighters, veteran professionals have been shaking their heads in disbelief. These are the fighters who've spent years in the ring, enduring sweat, blood, and sacrifice to earn their place, legends like Mike Tyson. They question where the respect for the sport has gone.
Jake Paul been fighting YouTubers.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Let's be honest. Jake Paul's massive social media following and sold-out events don't impress serious boxing fans. To seasoned fighters, he's nothing more than a publicity stunt, a guy exploiting a sport he barely understands, and they're not shy about calling him out.
I don't know who else is on YouTube boxing, but Jake Paul's by far number one.
I guess Naji's gonna fight Floyd Mayweather.
I don't pay attention to shit celebrities do. That's a waste of my damn time. My time is too valuable, and I like giving it to my fans.
Professional boxer Rolly Romero is known for his outspoken personality and bold reactions, particularly when it comes to Jake Paul, the social media star turned boxer. The two have exchanged words in the past, with Romero frequently commenting on Paul's boxing career and trash talk.
He's marketable, and he put in the work, man. He's gonna get an opportunity.
In interviews and on social media, Rolly Romero has been outspoken about Jake Paul, often dismissing him as a legitimate boxer and mocking his skills. Known for his brash attitude, Romero has repeatedly criticized Paul's rise in boxing, questioning his credibility and ridiculing his choice of opponents. Paul, in turn, has responded with his own taunts, fueling an ongoing back and forth between the two. If you're referring to a specific event or post, let me know, and I can provide more details.
I mean, it was great. I think it was great for it's great for Jake Paul, because now we're having to sit here and have another conversation about him.
Kamaru Usman has made it clear that he's more excited about fighting Jake Paul than facing Conor McGregor. Usman, who has dominated the UFC with his wrestling and striking, views Paul's rise in boxing as more about publicity than real skill. He's unimpressed with Paul's trash talk and sees a fight with him as the perfect opportunity to shut him down. For Usman, taking on Paul is a chance to prove that social media stunts can't replace genuine fighting talent. While a fight with McGregor would carry its own excitement and legacy value, Usman is more fired up about putting the brash influencer-turned-boxer in his place. To him, it's personal. He wants to show Jake that real fighters are at the top and that Paul's antics aren't fooling anyone.
I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this, but you know he's gonna be a lot quicker. And if he stay close to Mike, then his chance of winning gonna be great.
Evander Holyfield has issued a strong warning to Jake Paul: don't fight Mike Tyson. In a recent interview, Holyfield, who fought Tyson twice and famously defeated him in 1996, advised Paul to avoid a matchup with the former heavyweight champion. Holyfield, knowing the dangers firsthand, stressed that Tyson, despite no longer being in his prime, still possesses immense power and experience that make him a serious threat. It's something Paul, who's only been boxing for a short time, likely doesn't fully understand.
Do you see Mike winning, or do you see Jake winning?
I don't know. It's all depending on how Jake fight. You know, I tell you what, it's cause somebody gonna tell me there's too crazy to be trying to get close to the guy. He gonna stay like that. Mike like he get in and he curve up like this and snap out and get you.
Yeah.
Holyfield's comments are in response to Jake Paul's recent talk of facing Mike Tyson. While Paul has built his career by taking on opponents with limited boxing experience, Holyfield believes Tyson is a level Paul wouldn't want to test. As for Holyfield's view on Paul's fights, he's been openly critical of the YouTuber-turned-boxer, especially after Paul's recent wins. Holyfield feels Paul's continued success in the ring has more to do with timing and favorable matchups than genuine boxing skill.
Not affecting the real fighters. People like me, I don't really get into it too much. I like Jake Paul. I think he's been doing his thing. But truth be told, I really care so about the real boxing at the end of the day.
Shakur Stevenson recently shared his thoughts on the Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva fight, and he didn't hold back. Known for his sharp wit and quick punches, Stevenson found the whole spectacle laughable. He wasn't impressed with the outcome and seemed more amused by the idea that Jake Paul was somehow outclassing an MMA legend like Silva in a boxing ring. Stevenson clearly wasn't buying into the hype surrounding Paul's boxing skills and openly called out the absurdity of the fight, which had fans questioning the legitimacy of Paul's boxing success. On a more serious note, Stevenson did give credit where it was due, showing respect for Le'Veon Bell after his knockout win over Adrian Peterson. Bell, the former NFL star, stepped into the boxing ring and delivered a clean knockout, something Stevenson didn't hesitate to acknowledge.
Mike got 30-something years of experience.
True.
He's still got power. Even though he's 58, he's still fucking fast.
Ari Spears highlighted that while Mike Tyson is 58 years old, Jake Paul is young and confident, though he believes that confidence is misplaced. Spears argued that just because Paul is younger doesn't mean he can handle Tyson, who still possesses the raw power and fighting instincts that made him a legend. Despite Tyson's age, Spears feels he's not the type of fighter Paul should be targeting, especially given the massive experience gap between them.
Now he's got young man strength.
Yes.
And he seems like he knows how to work the mitts based on, his time in.
Yeah.
But Mike is a different breed, man.
Yes, but it's not.
Spears believes Paul's confidence stems from fighting opponents with limited experience, not real competition. He argues that Tyson's skill and strength, even at 58, would be too much for Paul to handle. Spears asserts that Paul's bravado and desire to fight Tyson is misguided, not just because of age, but because of the level of skill Tyson still possesses.
Jake Paul is awesome. Jake Paul is a threat. I cannot fully dismiss the idea that he was a Disney character or that he knocked out an NBA player and he's calling out a YouTube star in KSI. While all of those things are true,
Chael Sonnen recently shared his thoughts on a potential fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, and he didn't hold back. Sonnen acknowledged that while Paul has built a name for himself in the boxing world, fighting Tyson would be a huge mistake. Despite Tyson being 58 years old, Sonnen emphasized that his experience, power, and skill would still be far too much for someone like Paul to handle.
if you try to fight Mike Tyson in boxing ever in your life, you qualify as a badass. There's possibly not another standard.
Sonnen emphasized that Tyson's boxing IQ and ferocity in the ring remain intact, even if his physical condition isn't what it once was. He pointed out that Jake Paul's confidence stems from fighting opponents with little to no boxing experience, but stepping into the ring with someone like Tyson, who has competed at the highest levels, would be a different challenge altogether. Sonnen made it clear that Tyson's ability to inflict damage, combined with his legendary reputation, would make it a dangerous and unwise fight for Paul. He suggested that Paul might be underestimating just how much Tyson could still bring to the table.
1 week, this story has changed. In 1 week, this went to Jake Paul falling back to his old habits of wanting to beat up a geriatric and get credit for it. And we let him know, if you beat up said geriatric, not only do you not get credit, we're going to be mad at you because we all like Mike Tyson.
To real boxers, Jake Paul's entry into the sport is like someone walking into a symphony concert and trying to conduct with a kazoo. In short, they're not impressed. The consensus among professionals is that Jake is more of a spectacle than a serious athlete. While Paul has gained fame by cashing in on boxing matches, most in the boxing world view him as a gimmick, someone using the sport to make money and stay in the spotlight, rather than dedicating himself to truly mastering it. They're frustrated by his lack of respect for the sport, especially since he jumped straight into high-profile fights without paying his dues. Boxers who've spent years in the gym, grinding through amateur bouts, don't take kindly to someone who thinks they can simply waltz into the ring and challenge seasoned fighters. Legends like Floyd Mayweather have openly criticized Jake, calling out his approach as a publicity stunt. It's not that Paul can't throw a punch, but it's how he's using boxing to build his brand, without understanding what it really takes to succeed in the sport. For real boxers, boxing is about years of sacrifice and dedication, not about selling pay-per-views or making viral videos. Jake's rise to fame feels disrespectful to those who've earned their place in the ring, and they're not afraid to speak out. So, what do you think? Is Jake Paul just a flashy outsider taking advantage of the boxing world, or is he actually proving that anyone can rise to the top with enough hustle and hype? Real boxers clearly aren't buying it, but maybe you've got a different perspective. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Does Jake deserve a shot at the big leagues, or is the sport better off without him?